Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of the Men of Steel podcast where we talk about Superman and Superman adjacent topics. If you enjoy this clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your shows.
Yeah, because like the Eradicator is, while his powers are slightly different than normal Superman, like it's a caliber above what a person in a suit can live up to. Like even as impressive a work as the steel suit is, it's just not going to live up to a Kryptonian. Like it's just not. So Eradicator is not having too hard of a time. Like he's smacking Steel around. Steel's like putting up a fight, but like not doing too much. And that's when Lois runs in and is like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
She really walked.
Steel's
in the
like,
fight.
"Shit, you're right. Like I didn't throw the first punch, but you're right. I shouldn't have thrown a punch at all because I should be living up to the lessons of Superman." But the Eradicator is also kind of getting through as well. And like we've seen that the Eradicator, or not getting through, it's like she's getting through to the Eradicator.
Right.
Like, we have seen that he realizes when things go too far. As we talked about last time, when Guy Gardner was like, "You have my support," he was like, "What the fuck have I done? Oh my God, am I the baddie?"
Yeah, the wrong people like me. Exactly. He's already, and there's like this plays later into it. And I'm gonna save it for later, but I do like the Eradicator's like almost it's like slow motion redemption is actually one of my favorite things about this series, the previous series and this series. It's really interesting.
Yeah, because he actually does have all of Superman's memories more or less. He's psychically linked to Superman, and previously was possessing Superman. His first actual body he manifested was just Clark's, and he had just possessed Clark, and that's a whole arc. So like him slowly starting to understand how those memories play out and having them give him emotional responses to things is a part of him learning to be not exactly an organic being, because in this case he's still a construct to a certain degree, but he's less of a construct than when he was like that energy form, the Krypton man. So he is starting to be a thing. On that note, though, I would like to point out that we do have a John Henry facing off against an artificial creation that is supposed to replace him at this point. And that becomes they go hard on it once he fights the Cyborg, who is the same deal.
Yeah.
But like this is a foreshadowing of that relationship of the folklore that is tying into the fantasy of like the superheroic fantasy that is Steel. And I find that kind of cool that we're getting a subtle moment for that here.
Yeah, that's a really good. I hadn't even caught that. That's a really good. That's a really good catch on the Eradicator side.
Again, they're super explicit later with the Cyborg stuff, but here it is actually still in play. With the Eradicator being a fake Superman and him being, I'm trying to live up to Superman with my hammer. Like it's really there. But then additional tie-in stuff. Superboy's lawyer shows up, or to serve them papers for cease and desist, or be sued for infringement on the Superman trademark. And that pisses off the Eradicator. He does not care for someone being like, "You're not Superman legally." He's like, "What do you mean I'm not legally?" And he sets the papers on fire, and he's about to kill the guy. And that's when Steel jumps in, being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Again, this whole book is like people telling the Eradicator, "What the fuck are you doing?" Every time the Eradicator shows up, it's usually to have people tell him, "What the fuck are you doing? This is a terrible plan." So Steel grabs him, and they fly up into the atmosphere. And while they're flying, the Eradicator decides to like speed them up, and so they go from what is technically Delaware, and they go across the country to California. Meanwhile, we get a little interlude where we see that alien warship that they teased at the end of the Adventures of Superman issue. I knew who he was before I read this issue, so like there's no spoiler in terms of who the character is right there.
I thought it was somebody else.
I thought it was Darkseid, and
Me
it
too.
wasn't. Yeah, I totally thought it was Darkseid.
Oh, it's the face.
Yeah. It's how he's.
No, it's the dime store Darkseid.
It's the dinosaur Darkseid. The way he's standing in front of Earth, he's got his hands behind his back.
Exactly.
Everything. I saw like he kind of has like the I can't remember the dude's name in Star Wars, but he has kind of like a weird thing around his forehead.
Oh yeah, the guy from Cloud City.
Yes, the guy from Cloud City. He's kind of got that thing going. It's like, well, I guess it's not Darkseid, but it looks like the color and everything's Darkseid. So yeah, I totally thought it was Darkseid.
The only
as well.
thing that made me like question it was the ship. I was like, I've never seen Darkseid.
That technology doesn't look apocalyptic.
Like looks more like
it looks like a different type of spacefaring civilization.
Remember, if you like the clip, after you're done liking and subscribing, check out certainpov.com, where you can find more episodes of the show, as well as a ton of other great shows.